I just want to take this opportunity to just talk to you about my practice and bring you into my life. This is 8:19 in the morning. I've already been contemplating things for a couple hours and thinking about what it means that last night, after a really abundant and very thankful evening that I had with a couple clients, um, to walk outside, and I'd let Merlin out, right? And I put my phone out, and there was I think it was an owl, although it was a call I have not exactly heard before. And I was calling Merlin, and I was thinking about Merlin being a shapeshifter, and the owl started hooting. And owl symbolism has been around me all week, including a very close friend and client of mine who identifies with the owl medicine having some impactful info come through about owl on Sunday. And then like the next day, another very close friend and client of mine reaching out and saying, I found an owl, like I got called down and I have to do a death rite for the owl because the owl had been hit. And she was yeah, very struck by that moment and a lot of sadness through her body. Not that she hit the owl. And interestingly enough, close that whole triangle with these three ladies, I had hit a bird, not an owl, on the way to get the stones for the retreat that I had like 2 weeks ago before the word was law. I had hit a bird while I was in the middle of one of these videos doing some work for the Substack. And now I have full circle. We had gone on that same road. Lana and I had had a conversation about that. And then the other friend of mine calling me about the owl when she was in the middle of doing those rites for that owl is such a beautiful practice. So this is my life. Like it's every day, all the symbols, all the things. And so I've been actually thinking about this particular full moon for several days and had already started prepping for it. And my life is sort of ritual, and I don't have one altar going at once or one like timeline being worked on at once. And so in my house, you will see a lot of different things. Like, for instance, these stones. I wonder if I know how to turn this around. Oh, I do. These stones are going to make my life a lot easier. These stones came from that retreat. And this one is the one that I had selected to keep for my altar piece. And really interestingly, what happened with Lana on Sunday was at the end of her activations out at Banning, when she was working with the words that we worked with at that retreat, which were releasing these words and bringing in these words, you can see why. You can also see why we're living in those other ones still, and they're ancient words. Um, I, as she was working on them, I found two sandstone rocks, like sitting on top of the flat rocks. Like I swear they weren't there before, and my body does do weird things like that glyph. Look at, there's an eye on this, like an eye of Horus. That's crazy. I didn't put that there. Okay. I found two sandstone, and we were in the town of Sandstone pyramids after we did what was the Egyptian timeline, because we were working with language, and the Egyptians were the first kind of ones to put hieroglyphs that coded those words, obey, sacrifice, blood, debt, into our actual written language way back when. And so what was crazy when I came home is I realized, oh my gosh, look what I had selected for the centerpiece of um, my personal Stonehenge that has stones from Gitchagumi connected to the work that we're doing on the language timelines. Now, the other thing that I'm in the midst of while the full moon practice is going on is last year my granddaughter turned 7. And when she turned 7, she got her own, what I just call a witchy kit. But really, what it is a healer's kit that has stones and she's got little jars, they're intention jars, and she knows how to make intention jars, and she also knows how to make different waters, and she does that using her um, grimoire that her nana put together for her last year, and all of the different things that I harvest and dry for her every year now. I'll add new things to that kit, or she may not always have the same things. She won't always have the same things because we don't always have the same things. And what I've harvested this year is more winter things that she's going to get. And then I'm also going to bring some other components in, and we're going to start using some more things in her practice. And so I will be, while I'm there, working on that, on that kit for her as well. And so I'm in the middle of packing. Joanna, I'm wearing your jeans on the plane. Joanna gave me those jeans. Thank you. You'll also see here, I've got some work going on with, let me just turn this around again, going on with some of the small stones have been sitting here on another one of my altars. This is an altar that I have going for my best friend and other things as well. I will be bringing for both of the kids so that they can make their own smudges, and then we'll do some burning ritual. So they're going to be able to make their own feather. I don't have all that stuff here right now, but I taught a class during the winter solstice with Rachel, and we made fairy rings and feathers. So the kids are going to get to make those too. This is one of my moon intentions for this, and this will be going the entire time I'm gone. This will stay up and probably be added to as we move through. We've got those 9 planets that are going to align 2 weeks after this moon, 2 weeks from today, the 17th, I think is the date. There's a new moon that's really super crazy, with 9 planetary bodies in Aries. That's a new moon in Aries, um, getting ready to leave Aries season, but we still have Saturn and Neptune hanging out for a while in Aries. And then right after that, shortly after that, is that big transit with Gemini. And then that it doesn't end there, because all of those planetary bodies are going to be doing things that are going to challenge the way that we do things now. And what I tell you is that this moon in Libra is about, you, if it's not balanced, it's not going forward. And here's my skinny on that. And I'm gonna sit down and get my coffee now. We'll have a little chat. I'll show you the moon water that I've started, and then I'll let you get on with your day. And you can use this for your practice. I've already put out your crystals for bitchiness. Did not mean to send that to everybody, but I guess everybody needed it. So I'm sorry to those of you who are paid subscribers that I didn't hit the right button, but I'm learning. And I'm not sure that anybody is minding too much. It's just something I'm going to do, and we'll see what happens. So I got my coffee. Mm, it's so naughty. I have some butterscotch here, and I swear I'm just going to eat the whole butterscotch right now. So let's talk about a full moon in Libra, and let's talk about what's going on. Libra is balance. It's the scales. Look at my hair. Joanna's a Libra, aren't you? Libra needs balance. And so things a full moon when if things aren't in balance, and things are not in balance right now. I'm here to tell you that until humans learn that no hair on the head of any other human should need to be harmed, and all humans need to learn that body tech, it's not going to go forward into this new era that we're going into. And that's all these outer planets moving, that's epochal. And so what do you think it means if we say the patriarchy is not going forward? That's why I have that golden healer in the center of that crown. And I've been working on the No Kings timeline for a while, but I mean it. We don't need them. We don't need anyone doing that kind of thing to anyone. And we do not need corporations continuing to do what Verizon is up to, and Apple and Meta and X and um, all the banks and all the media corporate, all of it. It's nonsense right now. We are living in a plutocracy, I think is what they call it. I'm not going there. I'm not on my watch. Like anything that I can do to affect that not happening, my energy is going to go to making sure that I teach my grandchildren how to balance their energy, and that I ask that the universe form so that they can have balanced energy. That's Libra. So that's what I'm working on today. And that's what we all should be working on. Now, my entire house is a grid. I think I said that already. So, like the grid that I have here is going for my girlfriend, but that's a working grid. I change it all the time. All of my altars, there's several around. It's not that any of the altars are necessarily like I have an altar for my mom. I have ancestral altars both upstairs and downstairs. I have some um, altars to home and hearth, and I have an altar to the moon or the goddess energy. The moon is the divine feminine. Um, but they're not necessarily not cross. Like you can move things around, and I frequently regrid my house and redo the energies, especially around solstices. But sometimes around moons, I'll move a few things around. Right after I taught before the word was law that Sunday, that very night, I regridded the outside of my house, and I'll show you that in a second. And then a couple days later, I didn't regrid, I ungridded what I had done for the most part. I did a little regridding in Merlin's Woods, but a lot of it I removed. And so I had the same thing sort of out there since last spring. And I felt like it was time to move those energies around, but I wasn't really sure what is going to transpire in there yet. And things change in that woods for me because I do what I just call timeline healing in that woods. So what does it mean? It means that I look at ancient sites and the ancient timelines of archetypical sort of energies that have hit humanity, and I energetically send like Reiki energy to the earth and crystal energy to the earth and those timelines to release them from our knowing, basically, because it is our knowing that keeps us trapped in the um, loop. And it is a loop. We need to get out of the head loop that we're in. So, like this crystal, which most people would say is crazy because nobody can find these. I don't even know. I've only seen the two I got. And I sold the other one. This is Damberite. This is my fairy stone. I had two of my fairy stones, like the ones in my practice, were outside in that wood. So that makes a little sense that I have that kind of activity out there, but they wanted to come in. I need new kinds of stones out there. And so that was part of my process around this moon and what it's like to kind of just be hanging with me in my head, doing my thing on a daily. It's kind of like this. Then I just put them outside because we're going to get some weather and the moon is already out, even though you can't see her. Although she's on the other side, but the moon is out now. So we're in those energies and I've got to kind of watch this today. But I also am going to capture some of the liquid that falls to actually make this moon water. So that's going to be really powerful for this. And it's going to represent balance. It's going to represent for me exactly. And again, I had made a puzzle of all these things. And then those those are the, let me just turn this around. I'm doing that dumb again. Sorry. These are just some of the things, some of the wood. This, this looks like a gun. It's exactly what you think it is. I'm working on that timeline as well. Just a lot of different things. This is a fairy stone that has been out there. This is my stone for this year. It looks like a horse. It's the year of the horse. There's just a lot of very magical things. Look at that Herkimer there. A lot of magical things here. So eventually, this should have a glass bowl with water in it. And the reason why would be here, I'll just show you. You can kind of see my gridding here. You see just grids kind of everywhere. Yep, those are all Hague stones. Meows, let's go. You don't need to go outside right now. It's cold. You were out all night. Meows, out all night. Were you out all night, kitten? Yes, and you're trying to heal. You saw it's Cheddar's birthday today too, so he's 14. Anyway, that will go to make some moon water, and then I am not sure. This is probably going to be it for me today. So you can take this. My suggestion is to do you. Do you on full moons. Did you just see that fairy fly through there? I'm going to be watching that again. That's crazy. I just saw that. You can work with the crystals you want to, the ones I mentioned yesterday, the black tourmaline specifically that has muscovite on it. Muscovite is mica, so muscovite is necessary for cell phones, and it is one of the major child, what do you call it, labor problems. They use like child slavery in some of those industries. Palm oil is really bad. Cocoa, I really try to buy. I'm not 100% religious with it, but I'm aware. And we should be more aware of things that have that palm oil in it. And we should be more aware of anything we buy that isn't ethically sourced cocoa. And we should be aware that every time we change these phones, and that's my kind of beef with Verizon right now, is the longer you keep the phone, you don't have any trade-in value. And the longer you're with them, the more you're actually harmed for staying with them, because you could go get a free phone over here. And the whole time you're working on saving the environment by not getting too many phones. So that is why the muscovite with the black tourmaline for me for this moon is black tourmaline is very protective and it transmutes energy back to the bearer, hopefully sending them some consciousness. And the reason why I like the stuff with the muscovite on it for this particular reason. So if you have I don't have any up here right now, I don't think, but I just got some new pieces in at the shop. If you have the little muscovites on it, it can remind you to be consciously aware about how often you're changing things, like anything, like electronics or anything in your life, or how you're shopping or how are you consuming. It's one of the things we're going through right now. Um, Then what else is it? Carnelian is a very like it's vitality. So it helps you move anger through your body. It helps you not keep it in there. It helps you move emotion and energy. And it also helps you just move forward. I think I had um what other stones did I say? Well, you can read it. Oh, I don't remember. But all of those would be good to work with. As obviously you see what I'm working with, a lot of different things. So yeah. So you guys do you with that and have a really blessed, balanced, and work on releasing anything that's taking your balance away from you. Peace and spiral blessings. Happy birthday to Chetta. Set your intentions.